Introduction. There's something about the open road. Long stretches of empty highways, gas stations in the middle of nowhere, and miles of wilderness. Road trips are supposed to be about freedom, adventure, and memories. But sometimes, they turn into something else entirely, nightmares you can't escape from, because there's nowhere to run when the road is endless. Tonight, we dive into 10 disturbing true road trip horror stories. Stories of travelers who encountered the unexplainable, the terrifying, and the unforgettable, out there, on the highway. Buckle up, this ride will not be easy. Story 1. The Man in the Rearview Mirror. A couple driving through Nevada noticed a pair of headlights behind them on an empty stretch of desert highway. The car kept following, for hours. When they pulled over at a gas station, the car stopped too. No one got out. Later, they realized that same car had been trailing them since they left California. By dawn, the car was gone. Police later told them similar reports had been made. Always the same car, always vanishing without a trace. Story 2. The Gas Station Attendant. In the 1990s, a woman on a solo road trip across Texas stopped for gas at a near abandoned station. The attendant seemed nervous and kept insisting she come inside because there was a problem with her card. Once inside, he whispered urgently, "There's a man hiding under your car with a knife." Police later found the man waiting to slash her ankles. She had narrowly escaped a highway killer's trap. Story 3. The Hitchhiker Who Vanished. A group of college friends picked up a young hitchhiker in the rain. She was quiet, polite, and gave them directions toward a small town. But when they glanced back after a few minutes, she was gone. The seat belt was still buckled, the seat still wet from her clothes. When they told locals what happened, they were shown an old newspaper. It was her. She had died in a car accident on that same road 20 years before. Story 4. The Motel in the Middle of Nowhere. Two brothers heading cross-country grew tired and checked into a tiny roadside motel. Something felt off. The receptionist avoided eye contact, and the hall smelled like mildew. At night, they heard scratching on their door, like nails dragging slowly. In the morning, they left immediately. A week later, the motel was on the news, raided by police after multiple bodies were found buried behind it. Story 5. The Stranger in the Woods. Camping off the highway in Oregon, a group of travelers awoke to find food missing from their cooler. They assumed it was raccoons, until one of them spotted a man crouching in the trees, watching. When they confronted him, he ran. They packed up quickly, only to realize later that night that someone had tried to cut into their tent with a knife while they were sleeping. Story 6. The Phantom Truck. A truck driver reported being chased down a back road by an enormous black semi with no lights. It tailgated him, blasting its horn, nearly forcing him off the road. When he finally reached a populated area, the truck vanished. Locals told him about the Phantom Trucker, a ghost said to haunt the roads after dying in a fiery wreck decades ago. Story 7. The Child on the Roadside. On a foggy night in Pennsylvania, a man saw a small child standing alone on the shoulder of the highway. Alarmed, he pulled over. But when he stepped out, the child was gone. Just then, he heard footsteps running in the dark woods beside him. He got back in his car and sped off. Later, police told him there had been robberies in the area, criminals using children as bait to lure drivers out of their cars. Story 8. The Polaroids at the Rest Stop. A couple traveling through Arizona pulled into a rest stop bathroom. Inside, they found dozens of Polaroid pictures taped to the wall, photos of people sleeping in cars, eating at diners, and even walking down highways. When they looked closer, some of the photos were of them, from earlier that same day. They left immediately, too terrified to report it. The photos were gone when police later checked. Story 9. The Wrong Turn. Late at night in rural Mississippi, a family got lost after missing an exit. They ended up on a narrow dirt road with no signs, no lights, nothing but thick trees. Eventually, they stumbled upon a shack with strange symbols painted on it. Before they could turn around, several figures emerged from the woods, holding torches. The family sped off, hearts pounding. To this day, They don't know if it was a cult, a prank, or something darker. Story 10. The Final Passenger. A rideshare driver in California picked up a man late at night. He gave a vague destination. Just keep driving down Highway 1. They drove in silence for nearly an hour. Finally, the driver glanced back. The man was gone. The seat was empty. Shaken, he pulled over and called dispatch. The operator told him, "That's impossible. That passenger died years ago in a crash on that stretch of road." Conclusion. The road is freedom, but also danger. Out there, past the lights of the cities, the world grows stranger. Maybe next time you're driving late at night, check your rearview mirror, because sometimes, the most terrifying road trips are not about where you're going, but what follows you along the way.